Hello everyone, welcome to Basic Electrical Engineering. So today we are going to conduct another experiment, that is to verify maximum power transfer theorem. In this experiment, we will see at what point maximum power is delivered from source to load, and we will learn what are the applications of this theorem. Let us come to the definition for maximum power transfer theorem. In electrical engineering, the maximum power transfer theorem states that to obtain maximum external power from a source with a finite internal resistance, the resistance of the load must be equal to the resistance of the source as viewed from its output terminals. Suppose we have a battery source or a DC source having internal resistance Ri and one external variable resistance RL is connected across this DC source. So according to this theorem, when RL will be equals to the internal resistance of this DC source Ri, then maximum power will be transferred from this DC source to the load resistance RL. And in this video, we are going to verify this theorem by conducting this experiment. Next, we will see applications of maximum power transfer theorem. In communication system, maximum power transfer is always sought. For example, in public address system, the circuit is adjusted for maximum power transfer by making the load resistance or the speaker resistance equal to the amplifier resistance. The next application is in car engines, the power delivered to the starter motor will depend upon the effective resistance of the motor and internal resistance of the battery. If the two resistances are equal, then maximum power will be transferred to the motor to turn on the engine. Let us know about the apparatus which are required to perform this experiment. So, to perform this experiment, we will take one DC power supply 0 to 30 volt and 5 ampere range, and we will take two rheostats 27 ohm 10 ampere. We will take one DC voltmeter 0 to 15 volt range, and we will take one ammeter 0 to 1.5 ampere range. Let us see some experimental setup images. This is the complete experimental setup. In this image, we can see this is one DC power supply unit, this is one DC ammeter, this is one DC voltmeter, and these are two rheostats. Next, we will see DC regulated power supply. So, this is one DC regulated power supply unit. This is 0 to 30 volt and 5 ampere range. Next, we will see DC voltmeter. It is PMMC type DC voltmeter. Here you can see this is common positive terminal, this is 30 voltage terminal, and this is 15 volt terminal. In this experiment, we will use this 15 volt terminal. Next, we will see DC ammeter. Here you can see this is positive terminal of this ammeter, and this is 3 ampere terminal, this is 1.5 ampere terminal. Next, we will see one rheostat. It is denoted as Ri, that is internal resistance of the DC source. Let us see another rheostat, that is load resistance RL, and it is 27 ohm 10 ampere. Let us know about the circuit diagram. So, in this circuit diagram, we can see this is a DC power source, and as we do not know the internal resistance of this DC source, so we have connected one rheostat in series with this DC source, and we can consider this Ri as the internal resistance of this DC source. Then one external resistance RL is connected across this DC source, and one voltmeter is connected across this load resistance to measure the voltage drop across this load resistance, and one ammeter is connected to measure the circuit current. Let us come to this circuit description. Suppose we have a voltage source or a battery that has internal resistance Ri and a load resistance RL is connected across this battery. Then maximum power transfer theorem determines the value of load resistance for which maximum power will be transferred from source to it. So, according to this theorem, maximum power will be transferred to load when load resistance is just equal to the internal resistance of the battery. This theorem results in maximum power transfer across the circuit, but not maximum efficiency. If load resistance RL is equal to the internal resistance Ri, then efficiency will be 50%. If the load resistance is made larger than the source resistance, then efficiency will be higher. So we can see the efficiency formula is given, eta is equals to RL upon RL plus Ri. Next we will go for the precautionary steps. So in DC network, polarity must be maintained properly while connecting the equipment. Current knob of the DC source should be kept at maximum position. Voltage knob of DC source initially should be kept at minimum position. Let us know about the procedure. Connect the measuring devices and DC source as per the figure number 1. As we don't know the internal resistance of this DC source unit, so we are using this rheostat Ri as internal resistance of this DC source unit. We can consider this Ri as internal resistance of this DC source unit, and this ammeter voltmeter method will calculate the value of Ri. So first of all, we will connect the positive terminal of this DC source to the positive terminal of this DC ammeter. The DC power supply positive terminal to the ammeter positive terminal. Then from ammeter 1.5 ampere terminal to the positive terminal of the voltmeter will be connected. Then from ammeter 1.5 terminal to the voltmeter common terminal will be connected. Then from common terminal of this voltmeter to the rheostat will be connected. Then from voltmeter positive terminal to this rheostat will be connected. Then we will connect the rheostat another terminal to the 15 volt terminal of this voltmeter. Then from this rheostat terminal to the 15 voltmeter point will be connected. Then from 15 volt terminal of this voltmeter to the negative terminal of this DC source will be connected. Point to the DC power supply negative terminal will be connected. The negative terminal of this DC power supply is connected. So as per the first circuit diagram, our connection is over. Now we will switch on the power supply. Next, fix the value of Ri at any point and apply 12 volt DC to the circuit. Now we will fix this rheostat at any point. Now we will switch on this DC source and we will apply almost 12 volt. Here this ammeter is showing 1.1 ampere. Now this voltmeter is showing 12 volt DC, and we will calculate now value of internal resistance. So now we have calculated the value of Ri, that is equal to 10.9 ohm. Now connect as per the main circuit diagram. So as per this circuit diagram, we will connect the positive terminal of this DC source to the internal resistance Ri. From this DC supply positive terminal to this internal resistance Ri terminal, first terminal will be connected. Then from Ri terminal to the common positive terminal of this DC ammeter will be connected. Then from another terminal of this rheostat to the ammeter positive terminal will be connected. Next we will connect from 1.5 ampere terminal to the voltmeter common positive terminal. Then from 1.5 ampere terminal to the voltmeter common point will be connected. Next we will connect from voltmeter common terminal to the load resistance RL will be connected. Then from this common terminal to load resistance RL will be connected. Now this RL is connected. Then from another terminal of this load resistance RL to the 15 volt point of this voltmeter will be connected. Then from this rheostat another terminal load, now this voltmeter 15 volt terminal will be connected. Next we will connect from 15 volt terminal to the negative terminal of this DC source. Now this 15 volt terminal to the DC source will be connected. Here the DC source negative terminal is connected. So as per the circuit diagram, our connection is over. Now the next point is switch on the power supply and set the current knob of the DC source at maximum point and apply 12 volt DC to the network. And we will apply almost 12 volt. Then vary the value of load resistance using the voltmeter and ammeter method for the given conditions. Now we will take first observation when load resistance RL is greater than internal resistance. Here you can see load resistance RL is greater than the internal resistance RI, and this voltmeter is showing 8.4 volt. Now this ammeter is showing 0.33 ampere. So now we will calculate the value of load resistance. So in the first observation, source voltage Vs is 12 volt and the voltage across the load resistance, that is VL, is 8.4 volt. Then current is 0.332 ampere. Load resistance RL is 25.3, load power 2.78, input power 3.98, and efficiency we have calculated 69.84%. Now we have to repeat the step number 7. We have to vary the load resistance and we have to calculate the load power and efficiency for each observation. So now we will decrease this load resistance and we will take another observation. Now this ammeter is showing 0.41 ampere. Now this voltmeter is showing 7.6 volt. So in the second observation, Vs is 12 volt, VL is 7.6 volt, current 0.410 ampere. Then RL value we have calculated 18.5 ohm, then PL is 3.10 watt, and then input power 4.92 watt, then efficiency is 63%. Again we will vary this RL value. And here the voltmeter is showing 6 volt. Here this ammeter is showing 0.54 ampere. So in the fourth observation, we have seen that Vs is 12 volt, voltage across the load resistance is 6 volt, current is 0.549 amperes, load resistance RL we have calculated, that is 10.9 ohm, load power PL is 3.28 watt, then PI is 6.58, then efficiency we have calculated, it is 49.84%, which is nearly around 50%. Similarly, we will vary this load resistance again, and here you can see the load resistance RL value is less than the internal resistance. So in our seventh observation, Vs is 12 volt, VL is 2.8 volt, current is 0.846 ampere, RL value is 3.30 ohm, PL is 2.36, PI input power is 10.15 watt, then efficiency is 23.25%. So in our fourth observation, we have seen that when load resistance is equal to the internal resistance of the source, then the voltage across the load resistance is just half of the source voltage, and here the load power is maximum 3.28 watts, and the efficiency here you can see this is just around 50%. Next, Plot a graph between load resistance RL versus load power PL. Let us see the graph between load resistance versus load power. So in this graph we can see when we are increasing the load resistance, then load power is also started to increase. At a particular moment when load resistance is equal to the internal resistance of the source, then maximum power is delivered, and after that load power started to decrease. Next we will see another graph between load resistance versus efficiency. So in this graph we can see when load resistance is increasing, then efficiency is also increasing. So let us come to the conclusion. So as per the results and analysis, we can conclude that the maximum power transfer occurs when RL is equals to RI. The voltage across the load resistance, that is VL, under maximum power transfer condition is just half of the source voltage and efficiency is around 50%. If RL is lower or higher than RI, then power delivered to the load is less than maximum. Let us see some discussion questions. Is the maximum power transfer theorem applicable to AC circuits? If yes, then justify your answer. Why is this theorem widely used in electronics communication system? Why is this theorem not applicable to electric power transmission? What are the limitations of maximum power transfer theorem? So if you have any question regarding this maximum power transfer theorem experiment, then please ask me in the comment section. Next time I will come with another experiment, that is 3-phase power measurement by 2 wattmeter method.